See the little chip right there that's in my windshield? Well, that thing's gonna split wide open if I don't try to fix it. Just a little chip with some little bitty cracks starting, and it'll just keep growing, go all the way across my windshield. So I'm gonna try to fix that with this stuff here that you can buy it at the store. Rain-X windshield repair kit. Directions, it comes with all the resin and everything, and directions on how to install this and squeeze the resin into that crack to repair it. So I'm going to attempt this right now. So you want to install those suction cups, and you can see the little chip that's right in the center of that. So you can adjust it around, slide those cups around. I put a little spit on there to get it to seal real good, or a little water or whatever. And got it all centered up. And then now I gotta put some resin in this little reservoir thing and then screw it in there and inject it in. Here's what it looks like from inside the Jeep. Yeah, this is a Jeep that I'm doing it to, with this flat windshield that cracks real easy when rocks hit it because they hit so blunt right straight into it. No deflection whatsoever, man. It just smacks them, so the rocks really crack these things. But there it is on the inside. I made sure that everything looks good. Now I'm gonna put this resin, that little tube right there, inside that area right there, probably about 4 drops in there. And then I'm going to screw this in there, down in there, to force it down inside the crack. All right, here we go. I can't really tell if it's going in there or not, so bear with me here. Let's see if I can. This windshield's in such a vertical position that makes it a little more difficult. Now I'm going to try to squeeze that resin down through there and into the crack. It's starting to go in now, so I had to hold this with one hand and then screw this with the other hand, or else they'd both start spinning. And I was watching to the side there on that little crack, which you won't really be able to see through this video, but I could kind of tell it was going in. And then you come over to the inside of the car to verify it. And I know it's going to be hard. You can't really see it that good, but with your naked eye, you can see a lot better. It's starting to fill that crack. So I'm going to let it sit there for a while to fill that little crack the best that it can. And then I'm going to squeeze a little more in it. I might unscrew it out a little bit, screw it back in, and kind of repeat that process about maybe 3 times and really look at it close. And then I think we'll have enough resin in there, and then we'll go to the next step. There's Lonzo and Griff. They're real curious as to what I'm doing in here. I'm inside the car now. So hey, you get down. So I'm in the shade right now. They want you to do this in the shade. And then when we go to cure it at the very end, we'll pull it out into direct sunlight. But you can probably tell the little split that was in there, you're not seeing it anymore because it's all filled up with resin. But you want to make sure you get it just those little splits and cracks, and you want to make sure it's just flooded out with as much resin as you can get in there. So I think it was saying in the direction 4 to 6 minutes, let it sit there. Everybody's curious as to what's going on here. Okay, now the directions say to unscrew this. And then after you unscrew it, screw it right back in again and let it set for another 4 minutes or so. So I'm going to do that. that second time I squeezed the resin in, it sprung a little leak. I think I was trying to squeeze in a little too hard. You can see that resin down below that came out. I wiped some of it up, but still a little there. But they give you a one-sided razor blade with the kit, so you can scrape that off real easy later on. So I'll just wait and get it with the razor blade, no problem. Here's one I fixed. I think it's been over 2 years ago. This is on my Toyota Corolla, and it was like one of them little chips with the spider cracks going out all over, and star, I guess is what they call it. And that baby's still hanging in there, and you can barely see where the little star cracks started out. But yeah, over 2 years ago I did this one, and it's still going. I think I'm going to reapply a little bit on it while I got this stuff out. So this stuff really does work. I had my doubts, but I just wanted to try it out, you know, to see. And Rain-X comes windshield repair kit. It does work. I mean, it takes a little bit of patience to get it to go in there right, but it's really not difficult. There's what it looks like now. So the crack's all filled in. Now there's a little divot there. I'm gonna fill in those little chips, the little divot that's in it. So they give you these little sheets of plastic here. So you put a little resin, I guess you could put it on a little bit on here or the crack. And on this vertical windshield, it's going to try to just run right out of there. So I'm going to, well, it's a little chip, you know, I'm going to try to fill that. So I'm going to put a little bit on here probably, and then stick it onto the windshield, and then just press it on there. I might have to use tape because it's windy today to hold it there, and then let it sit there for, you know, 5-10 minutes till it cures good enough to pull this off. All right, let's go ahead and scrape it off now. Hey guys, here we are for another review. So this is my second time to do this on a windshield, and I feel like now I'm kind of qualified, you know, to do a review on this stuff. Rain-X windshield repair. So the last one I did, yeah, it was over 2 years ago, and it's still looking good. So I'd have to give this a pretty good rating, and it's really not hard to use. I'd highly recommend reading the instructions all the way through first, get a real good understanding on how the whole system works. You might even, you know, after you read it once, let it soak in and go back through and read the instructions again, and make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. Because if you start working and then follow the directions while you're doing it, you're going to be a step behind. It's going to be more confusing and all that. So you read it first, understand, look at the parts, see how they fit together, read the directions, get a good understanding of how you're going to do it before you do it, and do all your prep work on, you know, cleaning it and getting it all ready to go before you ever start. The resin that you use is very thin. It's almost like water. So that's something, and it needs to be thin, you know, because it's trying to get into a small crack. These cracks are teeny tiny little splits in the glass, you know, and it's trying to work its way in there. And I don't think you want to use that stuff on a cold day. So if it's hot outside, you're going to be okay. Or if it's warm outside, you know, or just as long as it's not, you know, down really cold. I mean, I'm guessing anything below 45, you know, 50 to 45. Probably don't want to do it when it's that cool. And you need, they say you need direct sunlight. That's all in the directions, so you can read all that. So it's pretty easy to put it in there. I wouldn't say it's difficult at all. I don't think it's something that you should be scared of doing. If you make a mess with that resin, you know, I don't think you want to get it on your paint. So be careful. Don't get it on the paint of your car. So yeah, be careful with the way you're handling that stuff because it's runny and it'll get on there. But well, if it's on the windshield, you can let that stuff set up and you can scrape it off with that little razor blade. You know, it comes off real easy, so it's not a big deal to clean up. And you can wipe it too when it's thin. When it's still thin, you can kind of wipe it up. If there's a drip coming down, wipe it off, and then later on run a razor blade over it just to make sure you got it all off. So I'm going to rate this. You know, I like to rate 1 through 5, and I've never done a 5, so I probably never will. So I've got to give it a 4.5. I've got the package at Walmart for right around $12. So it's not real expensive if you think about, you let those little bitty star chips, you know, where a rock hits it and you look and it's like, that's not that bad. Well, it is that bad because those little bitty stars that come out, those are cracks, and the cracks never get smaller, they only get bigger. And yeah, you on a hot day run through a thunderstorm, you know, and the rain hits it right after it's been hot, it's just gonna split that thing like crazy. Or the cold days out and you turn your heater on, or you know, anytime you change the temperature on it, it's gonna keep splitting, and now you got to replace the whole windshield. And that one I fixed 2 years ago, I'm telling you, it's been through snow, ice, rain, it's been through it all, and it's not splitting. And believe me, I had my doubts about this stuff. I really didn't think it was going to work out that well. So, in fact, I pretty much knew I was going to throw away my $12, but I had to try it anyway, you know, and it worked. So that's all I got. This stuff does work. So I'd give it a good 4.5 stars. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. And all you guys remember, no matter what you're doing out there on any of your projects, you just keep on working until you get it done and be too stubborn to quit. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.